Welcome to this week's edition of Pete Smith House. Well, the Indian Cricket Tour, eh? Fascinating stuff still, and I hope all the knockers of Brendan McCullum just go and take a running jump off Sugarloaf or wherever they like, really, as far as I'm concerned. The man's got more guts and determination, and he's a little fighter and a little battler, and for the agony that he puts his body through, he doesn't go bad, does he? So it's been a fabulous summer. The summer's going to continue because we've got a track meet, which we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We said we'd get my guest back in because we can firm up now who are actually competing, who are the special real treats that we can get to watch. So yes, it's a track and field meet being held at Upper at Christ College this coming Saturday. Man that knows all about it is the event organiser, Paul Coglan. Welcome, Paul. And what news bringeth you that we didn't cover before?
Well, we've managed to secure an awful lot of athletes since last time you and I spoke, Pete. We the big name or the big excitement, I guess, has to be Valerie Adams.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
how did that happen?
Phenomenal athlete. Oh, look, we've been in contact with her. She's also good friends with Tom Walsh, who's obviously a local hero, and he went over and trained with her in Switzerland last year. And he got in touch with her, and I got in touch with her management, and between us managed to convince them that she wanted to come. She wanted to come be a part of it.
So where would she be in her preparation right now?
She's still in a build-up phase at the moment,
yeah.
but I believe she's going to the World Indoor Champs, as is Tom. So she must be in reasonably good shape. They are in Poland in about 3 weeks' time.
Oh right. So
so she must be in pretty good shape if she's going to go to that.
Yeah, I was just sort of thinking perhaps she was home for family and that sort of thing, and home for the Halbergs, I would have thought. But yes. No, she's actually got something to drive herself towards again.
Yeah. Well, she's been home through the summer. She had some surgery last year, so she talked about how she's coming back from that, and this is her first competition back after that surgery. So and she's really looking forward to it.
What do you do with a female world champion? How do you actually get it into a field? How do you do that with Val Adams?
Well, the good thing about Val is that she likes to compete regardless of how much competition she's got. She drives herself, she pushes herself, very self-motivated and self-driven, but also with the approach that we take at the International Track Meet by having the men and the women competing together, they're actually very similar. So Tom, of course, set that New Zealand record in December of 20.61. Now her best throw of last year, I believe, was 20.81. Don't quote me on that, but it was 20.8 something. So she's only a little bit ahead of him. So the two of them will be competing against each other within their own competitions, but at the same time,
different weights, obviously.
Different weights.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a men's weight and a women's weight, and they each throw their own. But the distance that they throw is remarkably similar.
Now you manage Tom Walsh.
Yes.
How old is he?
He's 21 years old.
That's young for a thrower, isn't it?
It is young for a thrower, but he's also, you've got to remember, he's 4 times New Zealand senior men's champion. So he's been developing very well over the last few years. He's got a huge future ahead of him, Pete. He
must have. Yeah.
He's and especially with him and Jacko Gill. The two of them, if they continue to develop and continue to push each other, there's an incredibly exciting future.
Is there a family background with Tom, or how does somebody just take to the field events?
Yeah, well, Tom's father Pete was a New Zealand junior shot put champion back in the late 1960s.
Right.
So there is a bit of a family connection there.
Right.
Jacko? Yeah, well, Jacko's parents were both former national level shot put discus champions. So yeah, there's a bit of pedigree there as well. But yeah, Tom's a Canterbury lad, born and bred out of Timaru, now living in Christchurch.
And he will love that opportunity, won't he?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And all of these athletes, the big feedback we get from all of our athletes is they love the crowd and the atmosphere at Christ College. It's so close, and that's something that we do that's a bit of innovative with the shot put, is we actually bring the crowd inside the track or in the infield around the shot put, so they're surrounded by the crowd, and they love that. It really does.
You can train the house down, can't you? But the catalyst of actually competing live in front of an audience is pretty special, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Any top athlete will tell you, they get another 10% out in front of a good crowd or with a good competition around them, rather than what they can do, down in the training paddock.
Now, Jacko Gill, not here at this very stage. Still maybe holding cross fingers, have we?
We've got to say it's unlikely.
Right.
He's probably not coming. We've left that door open for him, and we've said, hey...
Has he given you a reason?
He's just not ready. He's coming back from injury, and he's expecting his first competition to be the New Zealand Championships at the end of March.
Right.
But we'll hold that door open for him. And if he wants to decide, even as late as this week, that he wants to come and have a crack at Tom, then
Obviously you'd take him.
Obviously we'd take him,
Right.
and you know, I would think that with Tom having taken his New Zealand record, he's got something to prove.
Yeah.
And but
Was
you know,
that a bit unexpected or not?
Tom taking the
Yeah.
record? No, not at all. Tom's been progressing very, very well. He's
biased.
well, I am slightly, you know, possibly true, but no, he's been progressing very well. He threw a new personal best at our track meet last year, which was 19.82 metres. So now he's progressed from there. He threw 20.09 in Europe earlier in the year in 2013. Then he came back, he threw 20.30 at Rawiri Domain before he went to Australia, and then in Australia 20.45 and 20.61. So,
Getting
you know,
better and
he's
better.
really going from strength to strength. It's very exciting.
So he now is rated as a senior, obviously, is he?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
When
Yes,
do you
he's-
come out of junior status in field events?
Junior is under 20, so
Under
so up
20,
to the age
yeah.
of 19. So technically, I believe Jacko might be still a junior. Up until the end of this current season, but he's now basically he's achieved all he can achieve as a junior. All he wants to achieve as a junior. He got that junior world record last year, and now he's focusing on becoming a senior athlete. And the technique is a bit different.
So will either of those guys go to Poland for the indoors?
Yeah, Tom's going.
Tom's
Yep,
going.
yep.
You don't know
He's-
about Jacko?
I don't believe he's put up a qualifying distance. So,
All right,
so no.
yeah. Just because he's been off the scene?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He's had a few injuries. He's coming back now, but yeah, had some interviews with his new management team, and very focused on turning him into a senior thrower, however long that takes. So.
How tough is the competition now for someone like Tom, who's now up with the big boys? Really tough? Is he?
Yeah.
How competitive really is he?
Well, he really is competitive. He with that 20.61, that ranked him 22nd in the world for last year. Now, the event is dominated by the Americans and the Europeans, which also means that he's ranked 5th in the Commonwealth.
Great.
Now, the Commonwealth Games are obviously coming up this year, Pete, and in July. And there's a pretty reasonable expectation that we could see two of our boys going very, very well in the men's shot put, and of course Val in the women's.
How nice that would be to see a black singlet at field events doing
Wouldn't it?
well.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Well,
great.
well, that's
Is he an easy kid to look after?
Oh, he's great.
You manage him.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, look, I don't have to do a lot of looking after him. He
Do you have to feed him?
Oh God, no. it's a
Send
relief
him broke.
too. It's a relief too.
But how
yeah,
much
no.
planning do you do for him, or what's involved?
Most of the stuff I do for him is just I help him with arranging media opportunities and getting correspondence with his sponsors, finding him new sponsors, and you know, I mean, he's a guy. He works 3 days a week as an apprentice builder. So he, you know, he's working for a living as well as because it gives him some outside of sport sanity. But you know, at the moment he has to work for a living because we can't get him enough sponsorship at the moment.
Okay, got to take a break. When we come back, prizes. Yep, we've been lucky enough to be given the opportunity for some people to go to the track and field meet, the international one, at Upper Christ College on Saturday. Keep listening for that. International track meet being held at Upper this Saturday afternoon. We'll give you all the details in a moment, but here's your chance. 2 double passes, the gold passes, so that's in the real top area. I've got 2 lots of those to give away, and I also have 2 family passes, which is 2 adults and up to 4 children. So they're worth some serious tin, and we've been lucky enough to have them for you. All you have to do is tell me, where is the track and field meet being held? Well, you don't have to tell me. You've got to tell Mary Ann when you ring her in office hours, 3777 033. Where is the meeting being held? And we will get the tickets to you. So that's 2 gold double passes and 2 family passes up for grabs. Where is the International Track and Field meet being held on Saturday? But we're going to go back with Paul now, and we'll start right at the very beginning. You kick off really Friday lunchtime at the casino.
That's right. Yep, we've got our charity luncheon on then, where we invite all of our sponsors and hosts along, and we also sell tickets for that. So those tickets are still on sale through our website. $100 a head to come and listen to Sarah Ulmer.
Great kid.
Absolutely fantastic speaker, lovely lady too, and so she's going to be talking about what it takes to develop from a talented youngster into being an international athlete. and alongside her will be Scott Goodman, the High Performance Director for Athletics New Zealand. So talking about the same kind of thing from a more of a specific track and field perspective. So
right, okay, but it's open to everybody, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And look, there'll be some great interest for people from all sports, and anyone who's interested in finding out, because there's the biggest challenge with any sport, track and field included, but any sport is how to take all of those huge numbers that we get as kids and all those talented kids that you and I have seen around sports fields all around Canterbury for years. How do you take them and turn them into the international athletes? Because they don't all go there, do they?
And one of the keys is what flicks the switch with them.
Yep.
What makes them go that next level? Because there's thousands doing it, as you say. What sets these ones apart?
Yep,
and what
exactly, and what keeps them in the sport and keeps them interested.
What's Sarah doing now?
She's a mum now. So she's living up in the North Island there.
She comes back doing something though. She's that sort of person.
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
the lunch. That's 12 o'clock.
Yes, 12:30 at the Machina Lounge downstairs, the new lounge downstairs in the casino. So so that'll be something a bit different. Right. And then on the Friday evening is the qualifying rounds and the hammer throw event for the Throws Quadrathlon. That's on at Rawiri Domain in Christchurch.
Quad triathlon.
Quadrathlon, 4 events. So there's a hammer throw and the qualifying rounds for the discus and the shot put that are on at New Brighton on the Friday evening from 5:30 onwards.
5:30 onwards.
And admission's free for that bit of it. Right. And then the top discus qualifiers and the top shot put qualifiers will go to compete at the track meet itself on the Saturday.
Right. Now, we talked at length last time you were in, just what a super venue Upper is at Christchurch. If you've not been there, a lot of you probably have gone, I suppose, to the annual school match or whatever. It's a super rugby area, but it is, of course, originally an athletics track, and Christchurch still have their sports on that grass track, and it's a super setting, isn't it?
It is.
But you've thrown this right open to families, haven't you? It's family friendly.
Absolutely, and that's the idea of the family passes that you're giving away there, and the gold seating area is to be able to get everyone in for an affordable price and get everyone involved.
So kick-off time for that is when?
4 o'clock. So that's what time Tom and Val will start throwing. So everyone's going to need to get there early. So gates will open at 3. And like I said before, we get the crowd into the infield. So if you want to be into the infield, you've got to be get there at 3 and get in. You get moved into the infield at 3:45.
Right.
So if you're not in there before then, you're not going to get into the infield.
Now you can actually shorten the process if you pre-buy the tickets, I assume.
You can. Yep. So there's tickets on sale all this week at Shoe Clinic in Riccarton Mall, Smith Sports Shoes in Annex Road, and Council Leisure Centres at Jelly Park and Pioneer. And the Graham Condon Centre, and also online on our website and on the day. Internationaltrackmeet.co.nz.
Right, internationaltrackmeet.co.nz. Or you can just short circuit the system a bit if you can. Nothing worse if you're like me, you hate queues and that sort of thing. Well, it's pretty jolly simple just to go online, purchase your tickets, and away you go. Work out how many you're going to take. Food, that sort of thing. Can they take it with them?
They can. Yep. Bring your picnic. Bring whatever you like. There will be sausage sizzles and food and soft drinks and things available in
no alcohol.
No alcohol. Right. It is a school venue,
yep.
so we respect the school's wishes, and we don't want people to bring alcohol in. We don't supply alcohol in there.
No.
But that's fine. Come and have a good time, and like I say, get there early. And because in 2012, last time we had Valerie here, we had a queue the length of Rolleston Ave, waiting to get in the gates at 3 o'clock. So we fully expect that again, especially with the shot put being first event off the traps.
Yeah. Can I tell you, it is a very, very busy and poignant weekend, of course. On Friday night, I've got to tell you, I won't be at Rafiti Domain. I'll be at AMI Stadium as the Chiefs, the champions of 2013. And shouldn't have been. We should have beaten them, the Crusaders, and that's our first look at the Crusaders, Richie McCaw and all. So that's where I'll be. And then I'm going to go to the service in the Botanic Gardens on lunchtime on the 22nd. And of course there'll be a moment's silence at 12:51, as pretty poignant, for CTV people as well. And then I just come on to the athletics. I mean, it's so simple, isn't it? I mean, you couldn't have really worked it out better timing-wise.
No.
Thousands of people in the gardens, and all they're going to do is just come across virtually, and it's still in the gardens virtually to Upper, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just around across the Armour Street Bridge, and then you go. Now we will actually
sneak over the wall.
I wouldn't think so. You get your feet wet, Pete. But the real, speaking of the moment's silence, there will be, because we of course have our Brian Taylor Memorial 3,000 metres, which is at 6 p.m. towards the end of the program. Now that's going to be a very exciting race. Got a couple of Aussie internationals, as well as some of New Zealand's top middle distance runners. And but obviously with the Brian Taylor Memorial aspect of that, we will be having a minute's silence before that too.
Significance of that, of course, was that he lost his life in the CTV building, and a very, very fine athletics person, and that's great to remember him. But yeah, so I just think it's a nice day. I know that sounds quite trite, doesn't it? But you're in the gardens, you do the memorial thing. I think we're going to the CTV site at 2 o'clock. And then why wouldn't you just want to wind down with a picnic and all the entertainment's on for me? I'm spoiled. That's the way I look at it. So make a day of it. Of course, the Crusaders have got to get up first over the Chiefs just to really brighten the whole weekend, or else I get a bit depressed. But looking forward to that at AMI as well. When we come back, though, we'll go more in depth as who to look for, who are some of the really shining lights. We'll see. We don't see much international track and field in Christchurch for obvious reasons, but here's your annual opportunity. Don't forget, I'll run back past the prizes you can win when we come back after the break. Saturday afternoon, the beautiful setting of Upper at Christ College. It really is a super spot, and of course it is a living athletics track. So it's not as though it's been created specially. It's part of the heritage of Christ College, and it's been there probably nearly 200 years, I suppose. But an opportunity for you to go. I have 2 double gold passes for you. They're very expensive, and that's seating, that's everything provided for you. So there's 2 double passes for that. And then there are 2 family passes, which is 2 adults and up to 4 children, and that will get you in. It'll save you the hassle of having to queue as well, but we know how we're going to get over that, because we're going to talk about that in a minute. But all I need you to do is an office hours, ring Mary Ann. I'd be nice to her and you might get up the queue a bit, okay? And all you have to tell her is whereabouts is the track and field meeting being held on Saturday afternoon, and that's 3777 033, office hours, Mary Ann, ring. You could well be part of what will be a wonderful occasion at the upper field. The weather forecast looks pretty jolly settled too, I think, which is good. Okay, you've worked hard, Paul, to get the field up. Yep. Who have we got? People who need to keep an eye on.
Well, like I say, obviously the big names are Val and Tom, and they're straight off the bat. But at the same time as they're going, we'll get into all the fun events, the kids relays
that's the noise machine,
so exciting.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so much passion and enthusiasm comes from those kids, and then the secondary schools relays, which everyone in the crowd with their old school ties all get behind their team. And then even the senior relays, that was one of the most exciting races of the whole meet last year. Is that
club orientated?
No, that's North Island versus South Island.
Oh, right.
And this year there's a development team thrown in there for good measure as well.
Right.
So and last year the North versus South went down to the last lap. New Zealand's best 400 metre runner chasing down New Zealand's best 800 metre runner, and we just stuck a new picture on our Facebook page, updated our profile picture on our Facebook page the other day to reflect that. And
who won it?
The South did. Alex Jordan for the South Island ran down Brad Mathis, who now of course lives in Christchurch, so
yes.
we won't be too mean to Brad. 4 100ths of a second was the margin at the finish, and it was. And I tell you what, you go and look at that Facebook page and you see the pain on the look of on the faces of those guys. They were giving it everything. It was.
Do you
great.
have a female one as well, or is it just
we have previous years, no teams available this year, Pete.
Oh, right.
So,
okay.
But
girls all busy, are they?
Exactly. New Zealand 4x400 men's relay squad are basically being brought together for that race. So so there's that, and there's then there's the handicap events, which involve club level athletes, development athletes. And that's both a 100 metres and a mile race. Mm-hmm. And in fact, the mile race will involve race walkers this year as well. So that'll be they'll.
How far will they walk?
They're doing a mile as well, but they'll start so the 100 metres is a staggered start. So
yes.
so they'll run between 85 and 100 metres each, and straight off the gun and they go. The mile is a timed start, so so they figure out, the handicapper will figure out how fast they're going to go, and they'll start at time increments. Mm-hmm. And of course the walkers probably will have done a lap or so by the time the fastest runners start, and they'll be chasing them down. So that'll be very
exciting. What's a mile
too.
at Upper?
5 laps.
5 laps.
Just under 5 laps.
Yeah,
so
a lot of bends, 5 laps.
Yeah, exactly. So that'll be some carnage in the front straight. If the handicapper gets it right, everyone should finish at once.
Yeah, it's quite an old measurement, isn't it? It's quite nice to run a mile.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so we've got that. We've got the there's a 300 metre sprint as well, which will feature some of New Zealand's best sprinters, including some of those squad members.
Is that the straight?
No, that's just under a lap. It's 300 metres.
Yeah. So what is the lap?
331 is the full lap. So a little bit smaller than a traditional track. Traditional track's 400 metres, of course.
Right.
But yeah, so that's that, and then there's an 800 metre race, which is going to be a very exciting women's 800 metres.
You can see a beautiful shot of that there.
There you go. That's the woman in the 100 metres last year. Yep.
That's the grass track.
That's Anita Punt. You can see there on the left of that shot. Now she's a New Zealand hockey representative.
Yes.
Who was here last year. She won the 100-300 double.
Yeah.
Which was a very impressive.
And she's now a black stick, or what do they call them?
She was then too. But she took some time out last summer to do some sprinting.
It's a great location, isn't it, when you have a look at it there, and especially when it's full. Look at that, people all around the place. And
she's back playing hockey now, and I see she scored a goal in
saw that.
The match over in the USA last weekend.
That's right. They played England before that. They always
seem
to be playing hockey, those people, but never mind. So there's the kids involved.
Well, that's them having a trot round with Nick Willis. So that was pretty good.
No Nick this time, but
no, he's although he's going very well in the indoor circuit over in the US.
Which is encouraging form with Glasgow coming up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's going to World Indoors as well, so that'll be exciting too. But he finished third in the Wanamaker Mile, which is a very prestigious event over there.
I'm trying to look over your shoulder there just to see, but have you got some times there that you can tell us of when certain events probably will go?
It's all on our website.
Right.
So there's a program page on our website. So like I say, it starts at 4, and there'll be all of these other events will go through.
It's pretty quick fire though, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. We keep it all moving, keep it interesting, and something happening all the time. Through the middle of the program will be the 800 metres, which you might have seen in this week's press, and it'll be a very exciting race, because we've got Angie Smith, who's obviously a new young talent here in Christchurch, went to the World Champs last year. She's one of the athletes we're very excited about with our development story. First competed in the ITM as a 17-year-old, I believe, back in 2009. And finished third that day to Nikki Hamlin. Now, Nikki Hamlin obviously went on to win double silver medals in the Delhi Commonwealth Games. Nikki Hamlin's coming back to this meet, and she'll be racing against Angie Smith again this Saturday, as well as Laura Crow.
Can you see the tables turning?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Angie's now the favourite.
Yes.
You'd have to say with how well she's been going.
Yeah.
Nikki's coming back. She's had a difficult couple of years, but in good shape. Nikki's actually going to be, and here's a little scoop for you, Pete. Nikki's going to be trying to do the double, both the 800 metres and the New Zealand 3,000 metre champs. So she's just decided that this week that she was just going to run the 800, but now she's...
So we'll see her twice.
Yep. So you get to see her run
Thank
twice.
you.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that 800 metres that's going to be a great race, Pete.
Yeah.
You know, we could see the meet record go. Now the meet record was set on QE2 on the all-weather surface. Angie holds it, and Nikki set it the first year at 2:06. Angie broke it at 2:05. Now, with the way that all these girls are running now, they've all got PBs of Nikki's done under 2 minutes. Angie's done 2 minutes and 0.03 of a second, which is something that she'll be wanting to do.
So plenty of spice in that, isn't there? Yeah.
Definitely. And Laura
We're going to run out of time,
well.
so we'll just quickly go through the program. 12:30 at the Christchurch Casino. If you want to hear Sarah Ulmer, that's part 1. Then Rafiti Domain 5:30 for some of the eliminations and setting up of the field events. But the big one really is at 4 o'clock. It starts on time. At 4 o'clock, gates open at 3 o'clock at Christ College at Upper. We wish you all the very best luck, Paul. It's a labour of love for you. You didn't get any money for this. You've got a proper job as well. But what we will do, double gold passes to give away, 2 of them. And we have 2 family passes, 2 adults, 4 children, courtesy of the organiser. We do thank them very much. Ring Marianne, office hours, kid tour, be nice, have a chat to Marianne, 3777 033, and you can go to the International Track Meet to be held at Upper at Christ College. Gave you a wee clue there. Okay, on Saturday afternoon starting at 4. Thanks, Paul. All the best. Hope the weather gods play their part in the whole tournament as well. So catch you next week for another Pete Smith Host.